Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, man, he was awesome. He was awesome. You know, he did the same thing at Fort Scott in round one, and he was just okay early. He left a couple balls up, and he really settled in. And we had some traffic on the bases, and he made some really good pitches. And, you know, I would say one of the best performances he's had, but he's done it back-to-back.
The Great Bend Panther baseball team season has come to an end in the Andover Central as they lost to Salina South 5-4 in 11 innings.
He was on a mission. I could tell it was chewing him up early, being in the dugout. He just looked lost, but kudos to him for what all he went through, and he was able to get out there and compete. And honestly, though, it's changed the energy of our team. It's added another element that we've needed, and I'm just super proud of that kid.
It's really fun to be a part of this team, and I'm definitely proud of everyone because me and Paige finally get to experience this before our high school season is over. And, you know, it takes everyone to win a game.
You know, we just got to work our tails off in practice, and it's a whole different, it's postseason. Like, nothing in the past matters anymore. Like, we just have new teams to play. It's in the past. You know, we just can't keep looking back at the wins. We just have to think, how are we going to get better and prepare ourselves to play the best of the best.
The pitch to Ty. Swung on, crack, left field, hammered. It's on its way to the pen, and it is gone into the Mariners bullpen. Ty France with a rocket.
Yeah, I mean, you got to try to capitalize. You know they're going to be generally low-scoring games when you play these guys. They have a good pitching staff, and we put ourselves in a couple spots to you know, do some good things, but, you know, they're, like I said, they're trying to get you out.
Three-pointer, no, and it's tipped out top of the key. Irving to Doncic for three. Luka Doncic, 31 points. Timeout, Oklahoma City.
Down, works to the slot, leaves it for Sam Gerard. Shot through traffic, knocked down Parisi. Wide open net, it's off of Ottinger and in. The mighty Casey has struck for the Colorado Avalanche.
And welcome to Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. The talk of the town. Welcome in. It is a Thursday Sports Day show. Steve Webster with you. Mike Corson and Mike Hesher here in the Mayo Money Management Studios today. On the program, we're going to be talking with Barton baseball coach Brent Biggs, and he's in Wichita talking about the 5-3 win yesterday over Hutch in the first round of the Region 6 tournament at X Stadium. We'll also get a preview of Thursday's 4 p.m. game against the Cali Tigers. Thursday is today, so 4 o'clock this afternoon. Cali and Barton once again in the semifinals of the winners bracket. Mike Corson, he's going to preview all of the regional track and field action, including the 5A regional here in Great Bend at Memorial Stadium. And we're going to talk to the voice of the Tigers, Gerard Welbrock. But I think we'll talk to him today as the voice of the Hayes Larks. I think I asked him this last year, and he said, I don't know. Why don't Great Bend and the Batcats play? This legendary grudge match between Roger Ward and Frank Leo. Two guys I know very well.
They're 59 minutes away, 54 minutes away.
Oh, man.
Scheduled.
Talk about the chance to raise some money. Ooh, be a good deal. Someone's got to bend up. Somebody got to bend, right? I mean, even Clinton, even, I wish it was him, Biden and Trump got together for a couple of debates.
We'll see. We'll see. They said they're going to.
Well, wait, where's your mic at, Hesher? What are you talking about? There, okay, go ahead.
They did debate a couple years ago, so.
Well, the first one's on CNN, so that's like that's a home field advantage for Biden, right?
And Trumper can't have any people in the crowd.
Of course not.
So they all.
This is going to be a controlled environment.
And I think both of them have their controls in, so the other one will just have to simply say, no, I don't agree to that, and then we won't have any debates. So it's like neither one of them did it, so they put out all these.
I wonder what no, never.
Don't get started going down the political road.
Tune into Markley Van Camp
where you can find out what people really said. Oh, that'll be good today. Okay, let's get their sounds the past 24 hours. I mentioned Brent Biggs. He won't be live, okay, because they got this dinner thing they're getting ready to go to. So I did talk to Brent about an hour ago, and this was part of the interview you'll see here coming up. But talking about, how about this? Okay, you go, well, I think, boy, I know it will never happen, but, boy, what if it did? What if our starting pitcher in the opening game of the Region 6 tournament went out and threw a complete game, and that was enough to get us past the 10th-ranked team in the country? Well, that's exactly what happened. He had it planned. Talking about Reese Hemmerling. Career-high 9-inning complete game, threw only 99 pitches as Barton beats Hutch 5-3. Hemmerling's now 9-4 on the year. Gave up 8 hits, 3 runs, walked 1, struck out 3. So the Cougars are the 10th seed in this tournament. But they're on a roll. They've won 7 straight games now.
And that goes back to the old adage of throwing strikes. 99 pitches, only 3 strikeouts.
That doesn't happen in major leagues.
That's a lot of balls in play, I'm guessing. Obviously. With only 3 strikeouts.
Is it a 100-pitch count? Is it like high school where he would had to come out on that was the last pitch he could throw?
I don't think it is. So that's where in the 7th, 8th inning, you're really probably watching that count. But if he was that efficient.
You know, they've just been on such a roll. And, okay, the game starts, right? Hutch beat you 3 out of 4 times. You beat him once. And that was because you had a miraculous rally in the late innings to come from way down to win. So the first pitch of the game, Robbie Bolin triples. First pitch of the game, a triple. That sets the tone, doesn't it? Barton took a 1-0 lead. Hutch came back, take the lead, 2-1. And Barton just kept adding the ball, adding one, had the bases loaded in the 8th or 9th, and couldn't add to that total, but they take care of it. Hemmerling, a complete game, so they'll play at 4 today against the Cowley Tigers. Cowley taking out Dodge City 8-5 yesterday in the first game, and then it was Johnson County beating Jayhawk West, Foe Butler 9-3, and then another Jayhawk East team winning the nightcap, KCK over Cloud County. So Dodge City and Hutchinson playing right now. Then it will be Butler and Cloud County in the consolation bracket. Cowley goes against Barton at 4, and then Johnson County against KCK tonight. Good stuff with Barton baseball. Aaron Clark, he had the call yesterday on B104.3 The Point. You did tell Aaron he gets paid the same, whether it's an 11-inning game or a 7-inning game, right, Hesh?
I hope so.
Yeah, okay. Well, the Great Bend Panthers had a chance. They were down 4-2. Got it tied in the bottom of the 9th and went for the win with what, a double steal or how is that going at the end of the game? But they didn't make it. Runner thrown out, and then they end up losing in 11 innings.
Yeah, you got one of your marquee hitters up at the plate, bases loaded, 2 outs. What was it? The walk-off run is on second base. So obviously I can't see it, but wild pitch gets the 1 run in to tie it, and they must have been wild enough to going to roll the dice and require them to do something perfect. Clark's call took a little bit long, so it probably was in question as to, are we walking out of here or are we going another inning? So I'd like to see what happened exactly. But, yeah, it must have been bang-bang play, and then neither side could score what is that, 4 extra innings.
Yeah. And we talked about it this morning, but for Salina South to win that game, 11 innings, right? And then you go out and you hold Emporia to just 2 runs in the championship game. Emporia had upset number 1 seed Andover Central, and it was Salina South advancing. They came in, and I think they were a 500 team, 11-11, 13-13, maybe 13-13, but they go on to the state tournament with a 6-2 win. So they move on. Great Bend Panthers season comes to an end.
Yeah, and I meant to look at their schedule. They're right up in that region where maybe they were, how does the Salina team that beats Hayes and Great Bend have so many losses? So you wonder if they were playing some of those Northeast schools maybe.
It's been interesting this year. I love the way the expanded schedules. Doesn't seem like much, 6 games, but heck, when you thought about the old days, you only had 20. That's 20% more, somewhere around there. More baseball. You got to see some different matchups. It's been a good baseball season. But the Great Bend Panther boys will not be joining the softball team at the state tournament next week. Roger Ward, head coach of the Ellenwood Eagles, his team will be playing this afternoon at 4 o'clock in Hayes taking on number 1 seed TMP at 4 o'clock. These 2 teams played during the regular season and split a doubleheader. Ellenwood is 14-5, and they've won 7 straight games, and they've been fueled by one of their better players that came back. Cooper Hosman got injured during football, made it back in time to play the last half of his senior season, and Roger Ward said he's been a big difference for this team. So we'll see if the Eagles can pull the upset today. if they do, they would meet the winner of Salina Sacred Hearts, who is ranked second right now in 2-1A, and El Saline. That game would be at 6 o'clock tonight. On Sports Day yesterday, Hallie Post, 22-6, Great Bend Lady Panthers. One of those seniors that let Great Bend get back to 500 last year, then part of the squad, and one of the veterans on the team that was joined by these super freshmen and super softs, but it's been a good mix and it works. She says she's happy to get the chance to play in a state tournament in her final, appearance as a Great Bend Lady Panthers. And then Kaya Bears sounds like she's a freshman, by the way, and sounds like a veteran. Talking about getting ready to go to state, take on the best that 5A has to offer. Brackets have not been released for the tournament. It begins next Thursday at Wichita State's Wilkins Stadium.
Hey, you talk about a kid who's just always comfortable. We had her in, and we made her cry talking about her dad going into the Fort Hays State Hall of Fame, and I'm wondering, you got a freshman going up there and speaking in front of a bunch of adults, and I didn't know anything about her at the time. Now, having had several little chats with her, seeing how she handles herself on the softball field, it's just another day.
Yeah, she knocked it out of the park at that Hall of Fame induction for her pop as well. So we'll find out more. We'll have the brackets for you tomorrow. Kind of look over some of that stuff as Connor Nickel will be on the show tomorrow. All right. Royals baseball, the call on KIRO. Ty France, a solo home run to left center. Mariners took a 2-0 lead on the Royals in the fourth inning. And Seattle would go on to win the game by the score of 4-2. Seattle's been playing pretty good baseball. They've won 8 of their last 9 series. The Royals complete their 9-game road trip with a record, or 7-game road trip with a record of 4-3. Could have been 5-2. The Royals now a game and a half behind. They stayed there in the AL standings because Cleveland lost to Texas 4-0. Twins are a half game behind them, 2 games back. They lost to the Yankees 4-0. Manager Matt Quatrero. Well, sometimes you get the hit, sometimes you don't. That's baseball. It would be really hard be really fun, but to cover a major league team as a media, one of the traveling guys that go, but, that there's not 162 games. The questions get kind of stale after a while. What do you ask? Besides ask, well, why did you, what did you consider, in the manager's strategy, because nothing really changes day to day except, what was he doing there? How was his fastball? How was his curveball?
Unless you get very specific about certain plays that will change day to day. But there's also the opportunity, hey, you're getting paid a lot of money. I will ask you those questions, whereas...
Oh, my gosh. Here we get back in. We get back into the...
No. So I don't get to interview professional coaches, so you have to handle delicate situations
I'm not
locally.
saying Quatrero was saying bad. I'm just saying if you're a legit reporter and are just not in there trying to stir the pot or something, what do you ask them every day?
Right, but anytime you have a questionable decision, I would feel comfortable asking a professional coach, because that's what he's getting paid to do, whereas obviously those decisions are made locally, but you don't want to put somebody on the fryer.
Every game. Don't you like to get along?
I mean, they have to understand at that level that you take a little more heat than some of them don't. Like Belichick, the Spurs guy.
Well, Ned Yost wasn't exactly the most friendly guy.
Supposedly Bill Snyder, when he came up, not media friendly.
Oh, Bill was never that. So Wyatt Thompson, well, what about this? Is he going to be able to play Saturday? And Bill Snyder's response on the K-State coaches show was, Wyatt, they don't pay you enough to ask me that question.
And at the same time, if they will actually tell you what the rationale was, the printed stories that most people are going to read, because not everybody was listening to your presser, they'll actually get some insight to your program, the way you think. It's way more interesting.
It is how you ask the question, right? You don't go up to say, well, why in the world would you not have batted? It's
you could use a little tact.
Wasn't that the question Hal McRae got asked at one time? Did you consider pinch hitting someone? And Hal McRae went on a 5-minute
tirade,
obscenity-laden tirade that still is legendary in Kansas City media circles.
Well, then you got like Mike Gundy and the former, he's still Oklahoma State. he'll go on the tirade, but Mike Leach would take it to a different level with humor. So if he doesn't give you the answer you wanted, he still gave you something good for print.
Yeah, but if the game's over with, you're just looking for a cut, right? I mean, you're looking for a quote, put it in the story, get back to the team hotel, and,
Sometimes.
watch cartoons.
But yeah, the big games where big decisions are made, it is your job to write a good story, and it's way better if you actually get the insight.
And it's way better if you ask the question the right way. Maybe you've got a chance.
Sometimes.
And you just ask the question. You don't beat around the bush. Well, and on the third, and, he was over there, and I know he was hurt, but it may have pulled up.
And don't give him the way out. Were you going to use so-and-so or so-and-so? Yes. He answers the question. No, you cannot put him in a yes-no situation.
Well,
But here's the other thing. Most of those people are in a big room. Let the other guy ask the hard questions.
Not on the road. I mean, they talked to Quintero, because he doesn't have the home press conference. So when you're on the road, it's just like you get him outside in a clubhouse. It's a one-on-one deal. Anyway, although I'm not saying it wouldn't be a bad gig to be in Seattle this week.
I think it'd be fun to travel for about 2 years, not with a family because you're done for 9 months, but see every place once or twice, and then that's it.
Well, if you've gone 9 months out of the year, then there's a good chance that you'll be married for many years.
That could lengthen it.
So now we're going to get into marriage counseling today, or what?
We do it all on this show, Hesh. You know
Okay,
that.
thank you.
All right, the call on ESPN radio last night, Luka Doncic making a 3-point jumper. The Mavericks beat the Thunder 104-92 in Game 5 to take a 3-2 series lead. And the call on KKSE, the mighty Casey Middlestat, scoring a goal that broke a 2-2 tie. The Avs beat the Stars in Dallas in Game 5. That cuts the series lead down to 3-2 for the Stars heading back to Denver for Game 6.
Staying alive a little bit, Edmonton, I believe you had 2 goals in the final 2 minutes. So Edmonton also, I believe, leveled that series. So I think every series is now competitive in those Stanley Cup playoffs.
Okay, so there's your sounds the past 24 hours. The NFL is just a big, giant gorilla. I mean, they take 3 days of the headlines just leaking out a little bit of the schedule each day. First 2 days ago it was that, okay, Thursday night football is going to be the Chiefs and Ravens. Then yesterday we got a little bit more. The Chiefs' second game is going to be a home game against the Bengals. Well, we got the full meal deal today.
You forgot they introduced game number 7. Week 7, people knew the Chiefs were going to San Francisco. That was before the full release.
Well, you got to throw some tidbits out.
Well, I understand that, but that's ridiculous.
It works for them. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not arguing.
I think it's. I look at it and I say, okay, that's cool. I wonder who they're playing game 2. Well, gosh, that's 2 straight home games. When are we going to get after that? Well, one thing you could tell on this, that the Chiefs are worldwide. I mean, they're on every network that there is. I think they've got 5 primetime contests, and how many different we've got? Netflix carrying the game now. I mean, any platform that the NFL has games on, the Chiefs are going to be on those. They play on every day of the week except Tuesday.
Correct. Yeah, that's crazy. Whatever happened to Sundays and Monday night?
What, do you got a Wednesday game around Christmas?
Christmas Day, I think.
So they'll 8 standalone games, 5 primetime contests, with Arrowhead Stadium playing host to 6 of those.
So if they start out 0-4, does somebody flex out a whole bunch?
I don't know. Probably not if you want to. Okay, so the Chiefs open with Baltimore and Cincinnati. Are you getting this down for your record picking coming up here, Hesh? Then they go to Atlanta, and then they play Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers on the road. They get the Saints at home, and then that legendary bye week in Week 6. Then they play Week 7 at San Francisco, at the Raiders. And if I heard this correctly, the Chiefs have the 10th easiest schedule in the NFL.
Compared to last year's schedules, yes.
Yeah.
But the part that they were talking about was they have the last part of the schedule. They have 3 games in 10 days. That's how they finished the year.
That's tough because they take they'll be at home against Houston on December 21st. Then they have a Christmas Day game in Pittsburgh against the Steelers. And then on either January 4th or January 5th, they would play at Denver. But I guess it'd be the other one you're talking about, Hesh, is they play December 15th at Cleveland. 6 days later, play Houston. And then 4 days later, 5 days, they play at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they moved since they play on Christmas Day, they moved that game to Saturday. So that'll be Saturday, Wednesday. So maybe it was that. You are correct. I was mistaken again.
And then they go out to Horsehead Stadium and take on the Broncos to close out the regular season.
Let's say I thought they had protections, and so how many days was that? 12, 13?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure if
I was going to say 10. I thought the union specifically said no.
But the Chiefs, though, they're a worldwide brand now.
They don't take hits.
No. Maybe they're not. All times listed, Central Time. Go to grapeinpost.com. It's up there right now. We're going to talk track and field. Mike Corson. And then Brent Biggs still to come on the show, and Jordan Walbrock. Why don't the Hayes Larks play the Great Bend Batcats? Maybe a short interview. I don't know here today on Sports Day.
Are you a Class A CDL driver looking for a new opportunity? Venture Corporation is looking to hire several current valid Class A CDL drivers. And here are some great facts about driving for Venture Corporation that you will definitely enjoy. Higher pay, even higher pay if you have a hazmat endorsement. You'll be driving nice trucks, have more flexible hours, home most nights, and seldom any weekend work. Ready to team up with a homegrown, family-owned, and local company? Don't wait. Call Leslie at Venture Corporation today.
Get ahead or catch up this summer with Barton Online. With 5 convenient sessions to choose from, Barton Online is the perfect fit for your summer goals and budget. At just $155 per credit hour, it's an affordable option for everyone. Financial aid options are available for qualifying students. Now enrolling for all sessions. Get started on your future today. Learn more at online.bartoncccc.edu.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Amy Herrera, Regional Retail Manager for your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many people navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people. I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you how we're committed to serving you in our communities. At Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Now, in its second decade, it's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back to Sports Day here today, brought to you by the Cougar Booster Club. Continuing their efforts to make the Barton Athletic Department the best in the country. Equity Bank, no ATM fees nationwide. Learn more at equitybank.com. And the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. I'm glad I don't know if I did, but maybe if I had just a part of you getting hooked on fantasy baseball.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
The names are catchy.
Yeah, the names are
catchy.
catchy.
The pretend stadiums are awesome.
So when now, I mean, if you're headed to Southwest Kansas, want to drive through Pratt, go through Iuka, you can see Ford Field, then get on 54 and head west and, head to Liberal, and you go by Mullinville, the home of your town, the Mullinville Marauders, a single A affiliate.
Yeah,
they're looking to go major league next year.
So here's
who
the
knows?
obvious impact. The other guys in the league are like Trash Pandas, whatnot. So I'm the only one with a city and a mascot, a small town in Kansas.
That's part of the league constitution I was telling you about in Tiger Ball. And it's got to be in Kansas, and it can't be a big town.
I had a cousin who I believe graduated from Mullinville, which is how it's showed up on my map.
I think they're a good place. I mean, there's nothing like when the Liebenthal Nimrods are at home on a Friday and Saturday during the regular season, because they'll actually close down Highway 183. So they divert traffic around town so you can just walk beyond the stadium out there and go into Sonny's. And
I was going to say they live stream it over in Sonny's.
Oh, yeah. It's like quite the deal. Okay.
Sonny's Tavern.
State track and field gets underway next week. We'll have reports here on the Eagle radio platform. But we have a regional track meet in Great Bend. Field events start at 2. Preliminary track events start at 4. That'll be pretty cool tonight. Get down there, those late races under the lights. That'll be kind of a neat setting.
Let it cool down a little bit. I don't think there's much wind. I think it's pretty optimal conditions
Oh, yeah,
today.
it's supposed to be 77 today.
So we'll see. Yeah, to me, like I said yesterday, big question is, can the Lady Panthers win the 4th? Salinas Central's in there. They got the distance kids. They got a sprinter. They got a pole vaulter. So real quick, only a few events have the top kids in Class 5A, but Macy Noctegal in the javelin is ranked number 1. The Hayes girls ranked number 2. And then Salinas bringing in, I believe, your 2 best pole vaulters in Class 5A.
And who else?
And you do have one of the top 3-4 runners in the state of Kansas this year. Normally she's been the top dog, but Caitlin Roop, man, the girl from Topeka Siemens. So luckily, if you want to see a good race, it's fun to watch her run, but they will not have to compete against Seaman today. And then the little freshman that tags along with her now has made Salinas Central, with Ellie Denning in the sprints and that pole vaulter, a formidable 5A school that might go top 3.
Okay, let's talk about the other classes. Class 3A is one I know you're keeping an eye on, Mike.
Yeah, so I think basically all area schools are going today. Regionals go today and tomorrow. So Hoisington, Larned, Lyons, and Russell are all in action in Beloit today. Ellenwood's in Hill City today for Class 2A, and most of your 1As are down in Greensburg today. Say hi to the Marauders. So
if you want to drive past Greensburg for the additional 8 miles to get to Mullinville, then you can do that.
So I was looking at 3A, the Beloit one. It's a super stacked regional. It's one of those regionals where you'll see the top 5 kids in a class. So one of those kids is not going to state. But then there was like 11 of the top 16, including the top 5. So you're automatically erasing 7 of the best kids in the classification in one regional today. So it's unfortunate for those
not
kids.
fair.
It's
not fair.
For having such a marquee state track meet, whether it's fair or not, it definitely detracts from the marqueeism of the state track meet to not have at least most of the best.
But the marqueeism for this Beloit Regional is way up there.
Yeah, so the Beloit Regional itself will be probably one of the best in the state. 3A has always been tough in the hurdles and the boys throws and the pole vault. So to get most of those best kids at one place today, hopefully our kids will do fairly well. So starting out girls sprints, we've talked freshman Marley Biddle from Hoisington. She's number 3 overall in both the 100 and 200 in 3A, but number 2 seed behind Brianne Peters from Smoky Valley. And then Russell's Kinsey Zorn. She's the number 3 seed in the 400, but that was like their first meet of the year. Don't necessarily like that, but she is the number 2 seed in the 800, and she just ran that time last week. So like that, those odds. Ellsworth's Molly Ehrlich, she's the number 4 seed in the 3200, and she ran that time last week. Larned's Kara Herbert's been coming along in the hurdles, so she's going to be the number 1 seed up in Beloit and 4th overall in Class 3A.
Wow, okay.
Hoisington, so we've seen several pretty fast kids, and they've had success in the 4x1, so they'll go in as the number 1 seed.
They're the defending champs in that event, aren't they?
I think they won
maybe
2 years ago.
Yeah, okay.
And they might have even medaled last year. They've been solid, with even a different group of girls. So number 1 seed, 6th overall in 3A, and then Larned is right behind them, so it would be awesome to get 8 area kids right there in that one event. And then moving to 4x4, that's where Russell picks up some steam. They're number 2 overall and in this regional and number 10 overall. And then talk about a loaded event, the girls 4x8, 4 of the top 5 teams in 3A.
Wow.
8 of the top 16. So Hoisington's ranked number 14 in 3A. Normally that's almost a ticket into state, but not today in Beloit. They're going to have to cut some serious time.
Like 30 seconds?
But yeah, based on times coming in, it was 25, 30 seconds.
Woo.
Moving over high jump, that's one of those events you never know because everything's decided within 1 to 3 inches. So Hoisington freshman Sophia Simic has cleared 5.3 this month, so that moved her way up in the rankings, but 8 of the top 14 kids from Class 3A today up there, so everybody's got to be on their A game. We saw the Lakin freshman Erin Michaelis out here in Great Bend right after she had gone 5.7, hasn't gone 5.4, anything but 5.4 since, so even her as the top high jumper in Kansas this year, we haven't seen it but once. So
was that 5.7 jump wind aided?
I would have thought there'd be no wind.
Oh, okay.
I think they
Yeah,
usually struggle in those.
Okay.
Long jump, 5 of the top 8 jumpers in 3A, and Larned's Kaylee Hagerman has been up there among the leaders, so she'll go in as the number 3 seed. And then the triple jump, Mallory Mooney's, Hoisington's Mallory Mooney's been right there, and Hagerman's been up there since the start of the season. So, but 11
of the top 16 marks in the state in the triple jump are all at one regional.
Yep. And yeah, we'll get to this one with the boys here, where the top 5 kids are in there, but some of the girls' seeds are loaded. Then Larned's throwers, Katie Upson and Russell's Macy Patterson, probably favorites to advance in the discus. But then again, you got 7 of the top 16, got to be on your A game. Beloit has 3 or 4 good shot putters, but Katie Upson and Cammie Upson are actually ahead of them, so they'll go in as the 3 and 4 seeds. So if that rings true, Larned can get 2 spots at state there. And then obviously you got the pole vault state preview. You got the 2 best pole vaulters in Kansas this year with Sheldon May Farmer and Breanne Peters, both at 12.6. And nobody's really close to them, so as long as they don't scratch,
that'll be a good event to watch.
So here we go. The not a whole lot of area ranked kids on the track in Class 3A, but you talk about the 110-meter hurdles. Josiah Ball from Hoisington is ranked number 2 in 3A, but that's where you got 5 of the 5 top kids in Class 3A all in that event, and 7 of the top 11.
And so probably one of them isn't going to go.
Yeah, only taking the top 4.
Top 4, but it's provisional, right? Is that still? I mean,
no, it's.
So if you go top 4, you're in.
You're in.
Okay,
and if you're number 5 by 100th of a second, toast. Even though your time will beat every other state qualifier. Seen it happen before. And Josiah's ranked number 30 overall in 3A in the 300-meter hurdles. And that's, again, you got 7 of the top 13 in that event. And he'll still be one of the favorites in the pole vault. He leads the region by over 2 feet. But once again, 8 of the top 16 pole vaulters. So the kicker there, we talked this morning about that 4-5 race. Taylon Morales is probably hanging out about a number 7 seed, so he's going to need an exceptional day, maybe catch a break with somebody missing a bar early. Hoisington's 4x1, that's where you can qualify kids in mass. They're going to go in as the number 2 seed, number 8 overall in 3A. 5 of the top 11 in that one, so gosh, got batons going crazy, good starts. Anything can happen in the 4x1. Distance races, no ranked kids, but Camden Tarleton from Hoisington was not so far off in the 16. Probably have a little better chance in the 3,200, but you do have 4 ranked kids in both of those, so he's still going to have to cut some time. And then to the 3A throws, talked about how tough those have been historically. So Hoisington's Leighton Hoffman, he's number 15 in the 3A discus, but that's still the number 5 seed. So you're looking at probably 7 feet, and I think he was at 143, so it's a sizable chunk. And then Caden Hoffman's at number 3 overall in 3A in the shot put, but you've got 4 of the top 5 throwers in 3A competing there, so no room for mistakes.
Woo.
And so javelin, Luke Fisher's kind of been moving along nicely this season, so he's number 15 in 3A, but 5 of the top 6 throwers in 3A will be in Beloit.
Great work. Have fun over there at the Memorial Stadium today.
Come out. You will see some of the best. Hayes has an excellent team. Great Bend has excellent teams. Salina Central. Come out and enjoy some track on a beautiful day.
Look for Mike Corson. Do you kind of have a little vest that you wear? Like for a...
if I had an invisible vest, I would wear that. So
like media or something like that? Or are you just in your own...
Not at the little ones. I've had to wear a vest twice this year. First time ever. Didn't like it.
Really?
So let me wear my T-shirt.
So you don't have to have a vest to be a companion dog that goes into the store, but you have to have one to stand on the side of a track.
For the big ones.
Okay, all right.
KU made you this year, and then Drake.
All right. Well, that's good. All right. Coming up, we're going to talk Barton baseball. They play Cali at 4 today after beating Hutch yesterday in the Region 6 tournament. Brent Biggs is next.
Need to make a change? Get the latest devices at Nextech Wireless. Right now, you can get up to $1,000 off a new phone like the Samsung Galaxy S24 or the iPhone 15. Well, what are you waiting for? Make the switch now. Nextech Wireless. Home on the range.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Sports Day also brought to you in part by Eller Automotive Repair, a local mechanic that can help behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source. Advanced therapy and sports medicine. Get your life back. Also by Venture Corporation, reminding you to help a neighbor, shop local when you can. Time for a little Barton baseball talk. Brent Biggs joining us from Wichita, where the Cougars will play this afternoon, taking on the Cowley Tigers in the semifinals of the Region 6 tournament. Barton taking care of business yesterday with a win 5-3 over Hutchinson. Coach, thanks for joining me this morning. Congratulations. Nice way to start a tournament yesterday.
Yeah, we needed that one. So Hutch, got us when we were the West champs a few years ago and upset us in the first round, so it was nice to kind of return the favor.
A lot of cool things happened yesterday in that game, but let's get right to one guy who didn't have a bad day. Reese Hemmerling, career-high 9-inning complete game. I guess you drew it up, so, okay, we need to get a pitcher that can go 9 innings in the opening game, savor a pitch. He did that yesterday. Tell me about Reese's performance, Brent.
Oh, man, he was awesome. He was awesome. He did the same thing at Fort Scott in round one, and he was just okay early. He left a couple balls up, and he really settled in. And Hutch's lineup is good, and they can do multiple things. And he threw 3 pitches for strikes, and it's one of those things where we had some traffic on the bases, and he made some really good pitches. And it was I would say one of the best performances he's had, but he's done it back to back, so. You can't expect much more out of him. It was good to see.
You've been around Barton baseball a long time, and of course you don't rank these or anything like that. But that's where performances get remembered, or performances in postseason.
Oh yeah. I mean that's towards the top in terms of what a starting pitcher's done, and I mean it's huge on so many levels because obviously he's our number one and he set the tone and. The second part of that, it's a long tournament, and you got to keep guys fresh. And, he threw a 9-inning complete game and 99 pitches, and that doesn't happen much anymore. And he's kind of a throwback guy that he attacks the strike zone, and on multiple levels, it was exactly what we needed to get this thing rolling.
Yeah, he's kind of like a dinosaur. You don't see that in major leagues anymore. You see the complete game 9. He must have thrown 130 pitches. Yeah, that's pretty efficient with 99. You go in and you grab first pitch of the game. Robbie Bolin triples. That's a good way to start.
Yeah, I think we'll take that. He's probably one of the best players in the league, and he swings at the first pitch a lot, and I want to pull the rest of my hair out sometimes when he gets out on that first pitch. But he bangs one off the wall on the first pitch, and it's like, here we go, boys. And we found a way to get him in, and. The Hutch guy's a Kansas State commit, and he gave us fit earlier in the year, and so it was good to get one early and, kind of that confidence boost. So, hey, we can do this.
They come back, grab a 2-1 lead in the bottom of the second inning, but then you come right back and grab the lead, a lead that you'd hang on to the rest of the way. Nice job of closing yesterday by your entire team, it looks like.
Yeah, and, I thought, like I said, the Hutch guy gave us fits early in the year, and we had a really good plan going in. He kind of pitches backwards, and we had some really, really good at-bats early with nothing to show for it. And, I think there in the middle, I think we went 3 up, 3 down, 4 innings in a row. And, it took an error to jumpstart it, and then kind of the floodgates opened, and we got back to hard and flat. And we had some really big 2-out hits and kind of jump-started us to finishing that thing off. So, it was a good day all around. I thought that we were loose, and our dugout contributed, and we pitched and played defense, and we got just enough hits.
Talk about Owen Klein's day, Coach.
Yeah, well, I told him he needs to do some push-ups tonight and this morning because, he smoked that ball early, that hit the top of the fence, and then, in the ninth, I think we had bases loaded, and he hit one, and the guy caught it with his back to the fence. So he's been good, and he's been consistent all year, and, in our 2-3 hole, and he's a guy that, when he's up there, we have a lot of confidence in him, and he swung it really, really well. So, same thing at Fort Scott. I think he hit 2 balls, they caught with their back against the fence. I said, geez, man, if you get some push-ups in, you'd be National Player of the Week. But, him and Bolin obviously set the tone, and Grant Nodelman's been huge for us the last month of the year, and one of our consistent bats, and really up and down the lineup, where when we really struggled, we had some holes in that thing, and lately 1 through 9 has just been giving us good at-bats, and, it's hard to pitch when all 9 guys are on the same page, and, you got to work for everything you get, and that's kind of what the recipe we've kind of had success with recently.
Jeremy Combs used a mantra this year of wanting to continue with his team to have an edge when they play. Yep. Does your team have an edge right now?
Yeah, it's probably a little too much currently. But it's fun. Like I said, we played all year with these expectations of back-to-back champs, and there was a lot of expectations going in, and I think it really bothered us as a team. And it's one of those things, hey, we're the 10 seed, we're the lowest seed, we're visitors all week, and let's just go have fun and enjoy it. And they've really bought into it, and it's a fun and lively group to be around. Sometimes I got to get away from them, but it's been a fun ride the last 2 weeks.
Okay, right back in action this afternoon. You'll play at 4 against the Cali Tigers, team you beat twice during the regular season. I would imagine a semifinal, the winner's bracket game of the Region 6, a little bit different than a single midweek game during the regular season.
Yeah, going to be a little different. Number one, the wind's not blowing out 45 like it was in our 21-18 game, but obviously, we saw some bullpen arms when we played them the first 2 times, but we didn't see their conference arms, and they're good. They saw our lineup, we saw their lineup, so it'll be a different game for sure. But man, this is the 3rd year in a row that Game 2's been Cali Barton. So, I told you we owed Hutch 1, we owe Cali 1. So I'm sure they'll be ready to rock.
What are your pitching plans for the second game of the tournament today? I guess the bar's been set plenty high by Reese, so so go out and beat that, guys.
That's what I said. I said we had a team meeting this morning and kind of go over scouting reports and stuff. I said, hey, listen, Reese, good job. Okay, all we got to do is just everyone do what Reese did, and we'll be just fine and stuff. But we got Aiden Sowers going, so he's kind of thrown Game 2 for us all year, and good stuff. If he can command it in the strike zone, we'll have a really good shot. It's a high velocity, good arm, and it's sometimes command comes and goes, but I really like the matchup. They have a bunch of left-handed hitters, and he's a left-handed pitcher, so I think he's going to give us a good start, and we'll have a good opportunity today.
Okay, Cali beat Dodge yesterday 8-5. Johnson County over Butler 9-3. KCK edges Cloud County 3-1. Any thoughts on the first 4 games of this tournament besides yours?
I would say that's probably people probably pick Hutch over us, but that's kind of the way that everyone probably saw it falling into place in terms of yesterday. So those KCK, Cali, Johnson have been kind of the top 3. They've been ranked all year. So they've kind of set the bar on that side. But it's an interesting tournament. Like I said, 4 teams have been ranked, or 4 teams are currently ranked, and the other 4 have been ranked at some point throughout the year. So, I put this tournament up there with any tournament in the country. So it's some really, really high-level baseball yesterday. We'll see if it continues today, but there were some exciting games.
Okay, without being there, I don't know this. Sometimes, you've won 7 straight games, so sometimes during a winning streak, like a guy, brings like an Indian headdress to the dugout or something and puts it on after someone gets a big hit, or someone, puts a snake around there. I don't know. Is there anything like that going on that you kind of found some mojo with here at the end of the year?
No dugout props, but we got some things. We got some things going on. So, we might stink a little bit in terms of uniform-wise, and we got some other things going on, but it's worked so far, and there's a lot of them. So that's all I can say.
How do you handle the free time when you're at a tournament like this, Brent?
Well, I don't know if I can go on record and say this, but we're staying at the casino because they gave us a great rate and the rooms are nice. So the coaches are well taken care of. But the guys get along really well. I mean, they bring the PlayStation on the road. They're outside playing hacky sack. So, we haven't had a ton of downtime, but there's plenty of stuff to do. So they got a hot tub and a pool, and I think our guys have kind of taken it over a little bit.
Feelings here a few hours away from semifinals against Cali and Barton once again, Brent.
Yeah, it's New Year, same story. So it's, wouldn't expect anything less.
Is this one of those things when when you're doing an interview, you say, this is probably why you like coaching, right? I mean, this scenario, these tournaments.
Yeah, but you say you play anyone, anywhere, and what's a better place to do it than at the regional, tournament with, a bid to Grand Junction on the line, and you draw Cali, and it's the name, it's the aura. They've run the league for so long, and it's like, all right, let's go get it, and wouldn't want it any other way. So that's what makes it fun, and obviously to see these guys competing and enjoying it, because it doesn't always happen that way, and that's the fun stuff.
All right, go out and get another one, Brent. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Brent Biggs with us here
from the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB, Great Bend, and 95.5 FM K238CK, Hoisington.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
I had a young gal come in the other day who has been having chronic back pain. Did a session just helping her to understand her pain, not understanding her back, but teaching her how her nervous system works. And just that knowledge just calmed her down so much. She came back in this morning, huge smile on her face, and she was so excited to learn more. It was a blast.
Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
Extend the life of your equipment with the best warranty program and risk management tool in the agriculture industry. The Cenex Total Protection Plan covers new and used equipment. Receive up to 10 years or 10,000 hours of engine coverage when you use Cenex Ruby Fieldmaster premium diesel fuel and synthetic lubricants. With no deductible, the Cenex Total Protection Plan provides unmatched coverage to give you the power you need to keep your business running like a well-oiled machine.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor today.
Barton Community College enrollment days are back. Registration is now available for all sessions through July 24th. Make the enrollment process fun, fast, and simple. Reserve your spot to get everything set up for the fall semester in just one day. Visit with an academic and financial advisor, enroll in classes, take a tour of campus, and more. Visit enroll.bartonccc.edu to sign up.
He's been the voice of the Tigers for over 20 years, much longer than Wyatt Thompson, Steve Webster, and the legendary Bob Davis. And he's not even that old yet. Here's Gerard Wellbrock.
Of course, as Sports Day runs out on the 2024 season, we go to summer break. Gerard Wellbrock joining us, and I'll have to tell you, Gerard, that liner will change next year. You are starting to get older. I'm just...
I understand. I know. I feel it.
All right, so there's a question I want to ask you, and I think I asked you last year, but knowing that you probably brought it up and tried to figure it out, so here it is. Why won't Hayes play Great Bend in summer baseball? Why don't the Larks and Batcats get along? I think it'd be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think there's animosity because the Larks feel the Jayhawk kind of got broken up by a lot of the current members of the Jayhawk, and quite frankly, they're bitter about it. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. I mean, I think they feel the league was kind of their league because they were a charter member, had been there, and it got taken away. And I honestly, I mean, I think it's personal opinion, it's crazy they don't play. I mean, you're an hour apart, but whatever. But
Okay.
yeah, I think that's a lot of it. They're just not happy the way things went down, and now the fact that it's the Jayhawk League again, and they were the Jayhawk League. I think, yeah, it's just. I would think that's about as simple of explanation I can come up with.
Okay, so is it going to take, because I know Roger Ward real well.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I know Frank Leo very well.
You might be the cog that can bring it all together.
Maybe we could meet at the little tavern in Rush Center and sit down and hammer this thing out.
I'm game.
It just,
yeah.
I mean, because you look at what the Hayes Larks have done. I mean, the Great Bend model that Roger Ward has used, and Great Bend is just really doing well, is the model of the Hayes Larks. Free admission, right? You have sponsor nights. I mean,
Yep.
and it has just worked so well down here. But so when you do that, you want sponsors to come out and sponsor different games. So in a way, I guess if you're bitter and isn't that, what does they say? Let's see, cut off your nose to spite your face, or something like that. I don't know, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I would hope that's okay. Well, I'm not
I
saying
mean, I think,
it's not right.
No, exactly. I think there's some of the other teams in the league that you could play for some of your non-league. And I know you're with, two different leagues. You have your league schedule, and you have to play that. But there's plenty of days you can play at least a little bit. No, I agree. I mean, too bad they're not all in the same league. I think that'd be great for all.
Yeah.
But and I understand there's more to it than just. It's never as simple as you think, but it is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, because none of these other.
I'm going to be real honest. Some of the Colorado teams, that's fine, but it's not the same. I don't think it's the same. I don't think the quality of ball is the same for some of them. Not all. There's some really good teams, but it's not the same.
Yeah, and I mean, Great Bend was in that, and they were willing to travel, but none of those teams from the East want to do that.
Yeah.
They just can't.
It's more. I think it's more. Yeah, the East teams are the ones that kind of drove it away. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll meet in Rush Center.
And there's probably more to it than what I.
Oh, absolutely. I think
that's the feeling I get, though. That's the feeling.
You mean there's just something between Hayes and Great Bend? Are you serious?
I know. It's shocking. I know. It's amazing. I might be on this show, really.
Okay, Mike Hescher's. I've got his mic open here because I have no idea what he's going to. He was telling me because sometimes Hesch's stories.
Do we ever really know what he's going to say?
No, this is like a Hesch story. Yeah, I was reading this thing somewhere. I don't remember where it was, and it was talking about the history of the Jayhawk League. I don't know. Did you read a book, Hesch?
It was on Royals Review, and I made a mistake yesterday, but this is about, I went to a couple of games with Hayes' first year in the Colorado League, and you talk about they played, one of their games was in a field right next to an airport. I mean, a agriculture airport where they landed the crop dusters. So,
well, no, I'm just okay. Well, what was this book you were talking about?
It was
Royals Review.
Royals Review is a blog I read, and they were talking about the history of the Jayhawk Summer Baseball League. And it is very interesting because, obviously, and I made a mistake, but what was it? The team from Hutchinson that had
the Hutch Bronx.
The outfield was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you see a crop duster landing when you're trying to watch a baseball game with 7 people there, it was not real good.
And I do think some of the Colorado, like now, the facilities where they play are a little bit better.
Okay.
And have gotten better since they've been in that league, but some of those weren't. Now, I do think they do like playing in Colorado. It's cooler, and a lot of times those games will be during the day, and so you get the schedule, from that standpoint, it's a lot nicer.
It's because the fields don't have lights, Gerard. That's why they play during
that's exactly right. Absolutely.
But again, it would be fun to see, and Great Bend's drawing really well, and I know the Hayes Larks are drawn as well as they ever have, haven't they?
Yeah, it's big. I mean, it'll be packed. I mean, jam-packed to the gills multiple times, and even, when you get in the heat of the summer and everybody's busy, but they always have great crowds. It's crazy because it wasn't always that way.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, they were better sometimes, and it wasn't that way. And then they almost, because of some financial issues, lost them. And with whatever reason, that woke people up, and it's incredibly well supported, yes.
Is that do they have free beer nights, or what's the deal?
It's the home of the beverage batter, which used to be. So it used to be the opponent, and if you struck out him, then you got a beer or a beverage, and that it's now a beverage, and have to be beer, and then you got like half, whatever it was, and then and I think someone finally said, maybe we shouldn't pick on the other team. How about one of our guys gets a hit? Let's make it a positive thing, and that's been pretty cool. But you talk about pressure, especially if you're the beverage batter that night. You go 0 for 4. You're not liked. I mean, that's tough. That's tough for someone.
Well, maybe I don't know. Maybe the guys that are giving away the free beverages are just paying that guy.
Hey, you know what? We can't afford to give a lot of cheap stuff tonight. If you can strike out a couple times, not going to affect your playing time, but that can really help me. Oh, I don't think that happens, but that would be.
All right, maybe we need to push this. We would just get like the best of 5 series wins the. I don't know what there is. There's something laying out in the pasture between here and Hayes. We can grab up there and
a cow chip,
the plow trophy. I don't know. All right, Jared, I appreciate it. We've got one more show for you to do because you're obligated due to your hefty contract. So
okay,
we'll check in.
I wasn't sure if this was it or we got one more. That'll work.
No, we'll work you in. Okay, all right.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, Jared Welbrock with us here on Sports Day.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national
Honest
levels.
to God, this was
Join
in
the
the
Cougar
field.
Booster Club
There were
as
no
an individual
stands.
or business.
It was
Call
8 people.
620-792-9377.
It was like-
Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Community bankers should actually
Well, I
know
know
the
it.
community. Hi, I'm Zach Strite, commercial lender for Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate
Just a
through
two-game
financial
series.
challenges
One
and
here,
lead
one
them to
there.
financial opportunities. I believe that people
You don't
bank
think
with
that
people.
place-
I'd
that
like to
place
invite you to
would be
stop by
packed?
one of our region's
God.
5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. At Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Welcome back on the program. Good stuff with Gerard Welbrock. That's fun to talk about Hayes Larks and their history and the history of the Jayhawk League. I've said that many times on this show that was my idol growing up were members of the Liberal BJs. They used to stop at Thornhill Fina in Cunningham as they were on their way to the national tournament. It's like, Dad, it's the Liberal BJs. Look.
Maybe they could meet in lacrosse or something and play. If they don't want to play here and Great Bend don't want to play up there, just meet in lacrosse or something.
I don't. The battle for the brown plow.
Well, what's the K-State, Iowa State? Farmageddon? This would be something similar.
I don't know
wouldn't
what it would be. Rockageddon.
Well, we're getting to the end of the shows, aren't we?
Well, it's been a great year.
It has been a fantastic year.
Hey, join us tomorrow. Hopefully we can talk to Brent Biggs because we talked to Brent Biggs on the show tomorrow. That means they're going to be playing in the winner's bracket final tomorrow. If they would lose today to Cali at 4, they're going to be in the consolation bracket game at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. So go Cougs. Also, Connor Nichols going to be on. And let's see, Mike Corson's going to be talking with some Great Bend Panther track athletes that have qualified for state. All tomorrow here on Sports Day on KVGB.